The key to your success is the environment that you are in. What's happening, Achievers? Ajit Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. Have you ever heard the saying that when the environment creates you? When somebody goes into jail for reform, they're trying to reform that person, there's a very low chance that they're going to actually become reformed and become a person of the law. What tends to happen is the environment creates the person into a more of a criminal. The same is true for success and anything in life. If we are in a group of people that talk about other people, backchat, gossip, you know eventually you are also going to become that type of person. Maybe you are that type of person. Maybe you're that type of person of achievement. Maybe you're a type of person of a loving and caring person. Now, any type of person that you are, any persona, anything that you do habitually, that's habit inside you, it's probably because of the environment that you're in. That is something we always need to be aware of, because sometimes we're not in control of our environment. Sometimes it's our family members. Sometimes it's the friends that we just don't want to get rid of. Sometimes it's the staff that we've hired or the colleagues that we can't get rid of. But there is always a choice of creating a new internal environment. Now, there's always the two worlds that we live in. One is the internal world, one is the external world. And now, when they say you create your environment creates you, yes, externally it does create you. It's a huge factor in anything, in anything you do, in trying to achieve anything that you want in life. Environment is the biggest factor to your success. Now, if you were not aware of this, then you need to become aware of this, because you can read all the books, you can self-motivate as much as you want, but it only takes one person to come and sabotage it all through their conversations, through their negativity, through their putting you down mentality. This is something that we have to always be in check of, because if we're not, then this is the place where it can be easily sabotaged. Now, external environment, yes, I do understand that sometimes you can't change it. Sometimes you've put yourself in a situation that you've married a person that's wrong for you and is holding you back. Maybe your family members, your parents, your brothers, your sisters are holding you back. Maybe it's your friends that you don't want to get rid of. There are ways of changing, but the change will be too slow. How can we make it faster for us? That's where the internal world comes in. This is where we have to focus on the internal world, our mind, what we focus on. Because what we focus on controls our state, the way we feel. So the way we feel, if it's determined by the focus, what determines the focus? It's the questions we're asking us constantly. The questions that we ask ourselves. We can put better words to those questions. Rather than saying something like, oh, why does this always happen to me? You can say, what can I learn from this situation, and how can I improve it so it never happens to me again? A better question, a more energetic question, something that juices you up from that question. But what controls that question, the words that we use? Again, it's the environment, what we're feeding into our mind. If we're watching a Netflix marathon of violence, people swearing at each other, people killing, people putting each other down, you've just created an internal environment of negativity. If you're watching the news where there's a lot of stuff on there that you can't control, so you're just sitting there mindlessly being sold onto negativity, you've just created an environment that has affected your mind. If you're driving and you are driving and stuck in traffic, or just driving generally, listening to the news, and the news is pouring out negativity, you've just created an environment of negativity. So the environment does create you, and without us knowing, there are many ways that we can actually control our environment, but we're just not aware of it. A couple of them is like, what do you listen to when you're in the car? What do you listen to when you're working out? Is it heavy metal, swearing, hard rock music, or is it motivational music? What about the conversations that you have with people? When someone starts talking about another person, do you defend that person and say, stop, I don't want to talk about that person. It's not fair to talk about that person because that person's not here. Because if you don't, you know that person who's talking to you will be talking about you to someone else. So it's always great just to put a stop to that. And it only takes 1 or 2 times for you to say, stop, that's not the type of person I am. It's like if you are not a smoker and somebody offers you a cigarette, you say, I am not a smoker. Then why not say, I'm not a gossiper. I am not an advocate to negativity. I am an achiever. I'm an invincible achiever. Why not think those thoughts? So you can control your environment through what you listen to, but also what you watch. Now, the social media has taken control of the new TV. Social media, the thing that we have on our hands, our phones, they are the new TV of this age. So in the 1980s or 90s, whenever the TVs came out, TVs were the thing that were controlling our mind. Now it's the actual phone, because the phone is always with us. There isn't anyone out there. There's rarely a few people that don't have phones in their pockets. Now, if you've got a phone in your pocket and you've got social media channels on there like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any of those social medias, YouTube, whatever you're watching on those videos on social media, you're scrolling, whatever you have on them is controlling your environment. You have to consciously go through your social media feed and get rid of stuff that really doesn't serve your purpose, your life in any way. Do that. That's a huge thing that to move your achievement, to actually go and clean up your social media account. But not only that, when you are scrolling, it's usually at the time when you're trying to relax. So what happens when we're trying to relax? We let down our guard. So once our guard goes down, anything that we're watching goes into our mind and it feeds us. Even if we think it doesn't, it does. It does. Because whatever you have in your mind, whatever you watched, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, it will affect you. You will be responding in a way that you just don't understand or know why you're acting that way. So something to be aware of, especially with the social media. We scroll through it, but our minds, our brains are so advanced that it just takes information in, absorbs information without us even consciously doing it whilst we're flicking. So it's very, very tough to be aware of what we take in, because when we are scrolling, we're taking it in without us knowing. So when you do scroll, make sure you're scrolling at a time when you're in control. There's once when I sat down in my sofa, and this was at 11 o'clock, and I start scrolling. And at 11 o'clock at night, you're tired, you want to go to sleep, but you get addicted. You don't have enough energy to say, well, I might as well go to sleep. You're scrolling, you got your own time. And then it was 12 o'clock, all of a sudden, just like that, without even knowing. For 1 hour, whatever I was scrolling through went into my mind. And I made a decision on that day that I will not be visiting Facebook when I do not have enough energy, or any social media, even the phone. I won't be even checking the phone in the evenings, just because my energy that I have to be aware, to control, is the lowest at that time. The highest is when I'm standing up ready for action. If I sit down and relax, and this is probably for you, true for you, if I sit down and relax and you start scrolling, you scroll for 5 to 10 to 1 hour extra. If you scroll and do things whilst you're standing up, then you're more aware and control of what you're taking in. So there's a couple of key nuggets here, gold nuggets just been thrown out there, okay? So we need to be aware of exactly what environment we are creating, because environment does create us. And a couple of things that we might not have thought about is the radio. We listen to the whatever we watch on the YouTube, on our phone, on Facebook, on podcasts, what we listen to, our friends that we have, our family that talk to us. We can create a better environment by choosing better mentors, choosing better things to watch, choosing better information to take in on a consistent basis. If we do that, then we are programming ourselves to achieve invincibility. So guys, keep spreading the love, keep adding value to people's lives, and just remember, we are one idea away from changing the future. Take care, guys. Bye.